Yesterday, the Virginia Sons of Confederate Veterans Stonewall Brigade held their annual Lee Jackson Day Parade and annual Symposium in Lexington, Virginia, where both Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson are buried. Last year, in 2017, Breaking Through was in attendance for the day's festivities, but this year we could not make it because the event fell on the same day as the inauguration of Virginia's 73rd governor, Dr. Ralph Northam. However, Breaking Through was sent footage of the parade by our good friend Bill Miller, who is the president of the Virginia Task Force 3% Dixie Defenders. Here's the footage sent to us by Bill Miller. Also, attached to the end of this report is last year's report. It must be noted that last year's story has been edited because part of our focus in that story was over a scheduling conflict that the Sons of Confederate Veterans had with the group CARE Rockbridge. This year, there was no scheduling conflict, so we didn't want to put any focus on that in this report. Sunday, the Sons of Confederate Veterans celebrated Lee Jackson Day in Lexington, Virginia. For 17 years, the event and parade has been held on Saturdays. Every encounter that I've had with Confederate flag supporters has always been negative. Until Sunday, most encounters were at the local Walmart or in racially heated social media threads. But Sunday, something was different. The men and women that put on the event were there to honor fallen Confederate soldiers. What really surprised me was two men showed up with white supremacist insignias on their shirts, and they were asked to leave by Brandon Dorsey and his organization. He even made contact with law enforcement. The event was peaceful. They prayed. They shot guns. And they did it with respect, dignity, and pride. I asked some controversial questions, and here were their answers.
The flag, the people who use the flag are not in any way a threat to any minorities or anybody else because we embrace the people that we embrace the Southern culture and the Southern tradition. Those people who misuse our flag, you need to give it back because it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us. It belongs to our ancestors. And we should never confuse 20th century racism with 19th century patriotism.
What, if anything, would you say to men and women that do use the flag to promote hate, like Dylan Roos and the Ku Klux Klan and people like that? What would you say to them?
Well, we can't control what everybody does. So you've got to, what I say to those kind of people?
Because they're using your heritage to promote their hate.
Well,
would you tell them to stop doing that? Would you tell them to quit?
Oh, of course, you know.
Black Lives Matter. Yeah, Thomas Jonathan Jackson knew that Black Lives Mattered over 150 years ago when he started at school for the children of the slaves and the slaves themselves to learn how to read and write and to better themselves. He recognized that Black Lives Matter, and we recognize that Black Lives Matter. All lives matter as far as I'm concerned.
I spoke with the local resident that lives on the path of the parade. Did you witness the Martin Luther King parade yesterday?
I did.
How'd you like it?
I loved it. It was a wonderful community event where, I don't know, over 1,000 people gathered in my estimation. I don't know the actual number. But it was great civility, love, togetherness, just embracing one another and with respect and desire to promote equality and freedom and love. So,
well, today the Lee Jackson Day Parade will come through here. The guys with all their Confederate regalia and garb, and they will come through here. Are you looking forward to seeing that?
From a historical perspective, I am. I think that this is Lexington. This is where Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee are buried, and there's a lot of history. And in that regard, I think embracing what they as men stood for, there's a lot of goodness in what they accomplished also. So I think it's fine to celebrate that. I think it needs to be done in a respectful manner.
While I disagree with these men on a number of issues, I still believe open, non-judgmental dialogue usually gives us a better understanding of our fellow man.
The Southern culture is a great culture. It's not just a white culture. It's white, it's black, it's Asians, it's Native Americans, and that melding of those populations, those cultures, bring about exactly who we are today.
In Lexington, Theo Whitelow for Breaking Through.